Hi everybody. I've always wanted to do a special video because it's video 350, so it's not going to come around again. And so I was thinking about it for a while, what I want to cover, and I think I just want to talk about everything or try to do a hodgepodge. So that's why I said Free Friday. I used to do these, and it gave me some freedom because I didn't feel like I had to talk about one thing or the other. For all the soap fans out there, don't worry. I'll talk about the soaps in another video. I just didn't want to do it for this one. Okay. So, um, I'll talk about what I've been watching, kind of. Well, I switched between Paramount Plus and Prime Video. Um, Turns out there's a lot on Prime Video that you don't know that's free for members. Um, if you watch certain things, they'll point you into other directions. Like I was watching Melrose Place, I covered it a lot. So one of the fan selections was Brady Bunch, which I covered that too in another video. But I like it because although it kept up with the times and it didn't keep up with it in a little bit because, um, well, the first thing is the fact that the couple were in the same bed was huge. That wasn't done. Although, the one thing they forgot was there's a bathroom for 6 people, at least 6 kids, and no toilet. Okay, I have a question. Where are you gonna go to the bathroom with no toilet? But yeah. Anyway, okay. Um, I just try to think about all the decade stuff. I mean, for like 70s, you had Brady Bunch and Little House on the Prairie. For 80s, you had The Cosby Show and Different World a little bit. And for the 90s, you had Living Single and, um, well, Beverly Hills 90210. It depends on your age bracket, too. I mean, there's um, Frasier Living Single for the adults. There was Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place for like the 20s, maybe. And, and then of course soaps have been around since at least, I mean, it depends on how you want to count it. Okay, there have been soaps as long as people have been alive because they started on the radio. But if you want to go strictly by television, then most of them were started either in the 50s or the 60s. Now, um, General Hospital and Y&R celebrated 50 and 60 respectively for this year. But, so basically what I'm saying is there's any kind of television you want throughout the decades for any age demographic you could possibly think of. And then also I watched Alf, but I watched Alf a while ago. I ran back into it, uh, but I hadn't seen it since maybe the 80s when it started. It ran from, I think, 1989 to 1993 or something like that. And it was Alien Life Form. And so this alien came from Melmac and, just happened to land in this family's garage. So, and then they took him in for 4 years. So that was a good one, but I think that as with anything, as you get older, you tend to notice different things than when you're a kid, and certain things are funnier when you're younger as opposed to older. You might laugh a little, but you don't laugh as much as when you're a kid. Um, but I was thinking about something else too. A lot of long-term series, and I'm talking 9 years plus. Okay, um, they have a moment where you can kind of tell they're jumping the shark, which means that they're trying to save it, but it's pretty much going down. Um, okay, I would say, um, okay, Everybody Loves Raymond. And that's another show that I really like. It was made in 1996. It ran from 9 years, 96 to 2005. And it was based on a sports writer, Ray Ray Barone, but it was actually written by Ray Romano. Um, Patricia Heaton played his wife, Brad Garrett played his brother, and Peter Boyle and Doris Roberts played the parents. And then there were other people, notable people. Katherine Hellman played her mother, Deborah's mother, and Robert Culp from I Spy played her dad. Okay, there's that. And then, so I would say that moment was when, let's see, when Robert got married. Because once Robert got married, what else are you going to do? You kind of run out of storyline. Because the whole idea is like, well, I mean, it's your typical Long Island family, but the thing is, the way they wrote it, anybody could feel like you could relate to it because of the stories that they wrote. So, the story is the older brother is jealous of the younger brother, not only because the mother gives the younger brother more attention, but the younger brother has everything the older brother wants: a marriage, a successful marriage, kids, you name it. And so once he gets engaged and married, where are you going to go? So I think that once they married him in season 8, they didn't run out of storyline apparently, but they did say that they wanted, and I've seen a lot of interviews and read things too, that they all wanted to stay on top and like leave when they were on top, and also leave when they felt they had run out of storyline, and so they didn't rehash old storylines they already did. Um, okay, so another juxtaposition of that is kind of Frasier, based on Frasier Crane, although here's a little more involved story. Frasier Crane, the character, is Kelsey Grammer, came from Cheers, and they only had him on there for like a couple of years, maybe, and then he just left. But then I guess you're supposed to believe that that's when he started his practice because he plays a psychiatrist but on the radio, and it's based in Seattle. So you have two brothers, Frasier and Niles, played by Kelsey Grammer and David Hyde Pierce, and then Ross Doyle, played by Perry Gilpin, and then Daphne Moon, played by Jane Leeves, and of course, the father, Martin, and uh, and then all the other people are kind of extra. That was your main cast of the show. So you have the older brother, who's Frasier, comes to help his father because his father is elderly. And so he feels obligated to help his father. Now, he would never say that he doesn't want to take care of him, but that's how he feels. So he's trying to make himself fit into his father's life. And his father is like old curmudgeon type, kind of, that doesn't want to give up his own stuff. So one of the main storylines in that series was he didn't want to give up this chair. Okay, when I describe the chair to you, it's a recliner, but it's like in this green and different colored fabric and like old looking, and even got the tape, the duct tape on the back where, you try to fix it a couple times. The kind of chair that you should just give up on, but he refuses to give up on it. So, yeah, that's what happened on that one. And then, let's see. So, of course, you go through 11 years of them trying to come to some agreement, and they do for the most part. But no matter what, even if they disagree, you always feel the love underneath it. So, but I honestly think that, and I'm not just saying this to, I'm not getting anything for saying this. This is my opinion. But it was one of the best written shows out there. Because I don't think they ever ran out of storyline. And for once they didn't play down to people. So, and they did a finale that tied up every character and you felt satisfied about the ending. And it wasn't that everybody got a happy ending, although they did, but it wasn't the goal to give them a happy ending, you know. So that's why I like some of the shows I mentioned. All right, guys. Bye.